Alright. Over the last few days, I've been doing nothing but bug fixes and quality of life stuff. Yeah. So let's just get right into it. So first, I fixed an issue where if you picked up multiple items when you were using the, or when you were picking them up with your body, it would overwrite them, like they would go into the wrong slot, like this one would be in here or something. Yeah, and then they would overwrite the data on them, which is, yeah. And then I made one of the quality of life changes I was mentioning is I made COD look like they're actually ramming into the wall now, which is a pretty big change, because they before just kind of hit the wall and then stopped and all that, and we're just kind of jittery against it. Now they actually look like they're ramming repeatedly into it. You may also notice they are in the sky now. That is because COD usually spawned over there, but because of the wall, if the player was like over here, the COD would not be able to get to them. So I made them spawn all the way up here now, or all the way up here or whatever, so that COD can actually get the player if they're over here behind the wall. Okay. I also toned down their growth so that the first day would be a lot more bearable. Like if you only got 10 fish, it wouldn't be like this size anymore, even though this is size 10. But like, evidently this is bigger than 10 fish, as you can see in the texture. I mean, here, let me just show you how big they really would be. They'd be that big, which for only like a couple fish in the first day is too much. So I toned down their growth by a factor of 10. I also made them spawn based on where the player is. So like now if you're all the way over here, COD will spawn more over here, or more over here instead of over here. Okay. Next, or well, I mean this is kind of out of order, but yeah, I also got the text and the number and whatnot to scale with each other. So you can see how the red box on the text thing is a different size now. It is now centered around the number or whatever. Yeah, this is so the box changes size with the number, and also so the number doesn't go outside the box and into, well, I mean, that's into other areas. Yeah, look, 4 digits, barely goes out, I guess. And then after that, I also got the same thing to happen for the label. Sorry, I'm having trouble remembering words, I guess. Yeah, I got the same thing to happen for the label. It does that now. There's a new box around it. Yeah, well, it really only works on one line. I added a line break here so that it would go to the next line and not go off into the next area, which I had to use a Text Mesh Pro for, which is something I have never used before, but it wasn't very hard, I guess. Yeah. I changed how the elementifier red and violet buffs work. Instead of changing just the fish quantity, for example, it now changes the fish quantity max and fish quantity min. It changes the fish quantity max and min squared. Yeah. Let's see, it's bigger squared. This was all because, one, it just didn't work because it would be immediately overwritten. And two, it was kind of bad compared to the blue buff, for example, which changed the minimum value, which just immediately changed what value it was. So when you change the minimum, it changes the current value, I guess. I made it, but yeah, that's how it works. So, it was just kind of weak, so I made it do this one now. Also, it seems I made it so that buffs can now be applied beforehand, which is nice. Yeah. Okay, I made damage not applied to things twice. This is because all the fish had 2 colliders, or the game counted it as 2 colliders when it shouldn't have for some reason. What the issue was is I was checking for the trigger collider, but apparently when you do that, you have to specify that you're checking for the trigger collider that is a trigger collider, because otherwise it just checks for any collider, I guess. And since the combat fish have both a physical collider and a trigger collider, it detected them both, which caused them to do twice as much damage. You may not have noticed that, but that is because I changed all the damage values to half of what they should be. Why I fixed this issue is because the artillery shell its colliders work differently. It first collides and then it explodes. The issue is it was only doing half as much damage as it should have been, because I changed all the values to half of what they should be. Speaking of exploding, I made the artillery shells actually explode now. If I just demonstrate that. Oh, come on. Where's the bullet? I thought I fixed the issue where they collide with each other. What is this even colliding with? What's even going wrong in here? I also made them not collide with each other, Made projectiles not collide with each other. Oh, it killed itself. Damn. It really killed itself. Good enough. Now, you can see that the shells are going to explode on impact. Before, they wouldn't explode at all. I also gave them a larger hitbox, but, you know, they weren't doing it at all before, so, yeah, whatever. Doesn't really matter to mention that. I added a safeguard to reduce bullets when frames got low. Let me demonstrate that. I also gave all the guns a cooldown. This is so turrets would not fire all the time. Let me write that down too. Gave guns cooldowns for turrets. Okay. Where's the bullet pool? Where's the bullet pool? Ah, there it is. Right. Okay. So, got all those projectiles, and once my FPS hits, oh, got it. And once it hits 20, okay, well that's not working on its own, so I'm gonna spawn another one. Once my FPS hits 20, it should start deleting all the projectiles. Oh, come on, man. This is supposed to be a lot more laggy. Okay, fine. A fishy gun. Yeah, a fishy gun. Come on. Come on, do lag. Lag all over me already. Let me make this shoot sushi. What the fuck? Well, that's interesting. Come on. It should be... Oh, and let me turn on the stars. That should probably also help make it laggier. Yeah, there we go. Now we got some stars in here. That should be a bunch of projectiles. And it should now do the thing. When it... It's supposed to be doing the thing, damn it. Okay, well, what you would see is that all of these projectiles would have gone away. I guess this is not working because I restarted my Unity instance and the frame rate went back up. Okay, well, I also gave I made the wavespawner factor in the quality of the fish being spawned. So if I just fish now, the quality shall be much higher. And you should notice that in the fish that spawn. See, they're much bigger, they've got more quality. I also made the wave spawner, or I guess I'll mention that next, or sometime afterwards. I made the boat, enter, and inventory keys, different keys. Boat enter is now shift. I made the string less twirly. It was for its own good. It was because it would be really hard to actually do anything with it. The reason is when it's when the bobber gets close enough to the fishing rod to worry about having to go back and forth and back and forth. I have a special thing that just turns on the emergency recall thingy, whatever. The issue is that was not getting turned off. So once you reeled the bobber in, it would never go back to, or it would always just, it would always just do it, which sucked because you couldn't do anything. I made potency buffs apply to all the fish. So that includes the wavespawner fish. If you see here, they now have higher potency. Okay, I made the wavespawner spawn fish around the player. This time, fully around the player. Before, they would only really spawn, like, in this area. Now they spawn all the way around the player. I got starfish to not rotate with the sun by simply putting the starfish script on the lighthouse instead of the sun. You may wonder what the issue with them rotating with the sun was. The issue is that they would move, or is that they would rotate so fast. Or, well, no, it's not like them. It's not like the stars themselves would rotate. It'd be kind of like they orbit. What I mean is, like, they would rotate relative to it. So, like, if you let me just say, put this neighborhood as a child of the sun, and then rotate the sun. That is how the neighborhood moves. That is what would happen with the stars. And the issue with that is that they would not fall. Okay. I made the fish get removed from the wave spawner without, when you kill them. The issue is that I was mistakenly removing the fishing rod from the alive fish list. Yeah, I was supposed to remove the fish that it was hitting. I made the buff effects go away again without causing numbers to be divided by 0 and therefore go to infinity. The way I did this was I checked if the buff was 0 or not. If not, go through with it. Or if not, go through with removing the buff effect, which in this case is dividing by the buff multiplication. And then I would... Oh, shit. I should probably also do that to the buff adds. Let me just do that real quick. And they would, and then I had to set them back to 1 afterwards, so that they wouldn't keep dividing. Yeah. That is all of what I have been doing for the last few days. Also, for some reason, when you update the scripts now, while you're in the game, you become unable to move the camera. I have no idea why, but this doesn't really affect gameplay in any way because you're not going to be changing the code. Only I'm allowed to do that. But yeah, that is what I've done. I hope you enjoyed. This was not as silly of a video as I would like, but that is all I've been doing the last few days. So yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day.